Hey guys, you know who it is. You know where you are and you know what's happening. JChats is back. So just simply subscribe and share, and of course click that bell so you know every time I drop a new video, you're there with me. Topics may include growth, development, social issues, broadcasting, even marketing for one's business. This is where we learn together. JChats, from interests to insights. Enjoy. Hey guys, welcome back to J Chats. I'm JD. How are you doing? If you're looking at me right here in Trinidad and Tobago, I hope you're well. If you're somewhere across the globe, hey, I wish the same for you too. It is the month of July, and well, we call it here in Trinidad and Tobago the July-August holidays. But for the folks in other parts of the world, they say the summer vacation. Either way, we know it's that time of the year where we just really use this time to unwind with family, as schools usually close at this time. But we know what COVID has done to us. So school's been closed for quite some time. But this is really where no online school is happening. The children are at home. They're having themselves a good time with friends and neighbors. And, that is just so much. Why not connect with this young lady here? She's on this is my right. I think it is, but she's right here. You get me. She is a very good friend of mine who actually, if you didn't know, Nakita is, the former producer, director, buffer, and making sure everything was correct for J-Chats when we did the live taping of it, and there was an entire team. So she's now standing in front of the camera, thanks to Zoom, this platform. And I thought it's best not for you just to know about her in terms of making everything that happened in the past for J-Chats, but this young lady has an amazing company that really highlights the love and her passion for this twin island. And that is what I want to tie into the fact that the young ones are home, or maybe you're vacationing as well. COVID just messed things up, but we do need to realize that if you listen to the news, everyone all over the world is getting back into some form of normalcy, even though we have the loom of COVID-19, the pandemic, still here. And of course, we're practicing our safety guidelines, from hygiene to also making sure we maintain that social distancing or physical distancing, all the practices we need to do to stay safe. But this young lady is one of those who can certainly tell us about places in Trinidad and Tobago that we can possibly go to and check out with our family members. Yeah, because home, that cabin fever can drive you absolutely crazy. Yeah. So Nakita is the CEO, the boss, Miss Nakita Henry of Patriotic TandT. Now, if you see me looking across here, it's because I want to give you a little gist of the bio from her, but that's Nakita there. So let me just say, hi, Nakita, how you doing? You good?
Hi, I am great. Good to be on J-Chat.
In front of the screen, right?
In front of the screen.
It's good to have you here. And in just a few minutes, we're going to certainly talk about your merchandise, because I'm seeing you rocking your Home TT t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's just one of the things we can certainly get from Patriotic TandT. So I'm looking across here, guys. We're all technology too provides you with 3-4 computers at one time. So Nakita Henry is as I mentioned, the boss, the person in charge, the person who brought to Trinidad and Tobago Patriotic TandT. Now, some of the things that you can get out of this company include the International Concierge. Did I say it right, Nakita?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Also, TandT merchandise. You see that. And Nakita has this amazing passion to take us to different parts of Trinidad and Tobago. The vision of Patriotic TandT is to be the pioneering destination marketing company for the islands of TandT, promoting local and international tourism while raising the patriotism levels of the nation. Now, the mission, and she can tell us some more into that later on, but her mission is to enhance Trinidad and Tobago's tourism industry by assisting in the connectivity of our assets to formulate strong competitive tourism products with a cultural focus. Now, this is one of the best times, I think, for us to have this conversation, Nakita, because also we're seeing that tourism is receiving a bashing right now. in terms of persons coming into our twin island or even us going out because of
Yeah.
COVID-19. The borders are still closed in many parts of the world,
It,
including ours.
yeah, it's not even receiving a bashing. I feel like we're in the ICU unit being
Oh my
hooked up on.
God. Oh my
That's
God.
how it feels.
That's how it
That's how it
feels.
feels, you know. But thankfully for Trinidad and Tobago, we have something that can save us, you know.
Yeah. So before we go into some of the things where today we're going to discuss, by the way, some places. Are we doing like 10 places? We can do
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Yeah,
Places in which in Trinidad and Tobago you can check out staycations, really. But
right.
Nakita Henry, tell me why you thought about diving into what was it that pushed you to dive into this, not only the company, but where did that passion come from for being so patriotic, even more patriotic sometimes I think than I am, to Trinidad and Tobago? What was it?
Honestly, I think it's just who I am as a person. You know, there were different things in my journey in life, different instances. Like I met some people from Germany and they were in love with being around the savannah and we were
Right.
drinking from glass bottles. They can't drink in glass bottles in their country and, you know, just simple things that made me appreciate Trinidad and Tobago more. And it really, really opened up my eyes to the things that we take for granted. And you know, it's just conversations with other people internationally, other cultures that you go like, whoa, you know, that is not the norm in my country. We could lime, like we leave work and we say we're going home and 5 minutes after we in a lime. And you know,
It's what we
people
do.
don't understand the concept. I had an ex who was from foreign and he did not understand that concept of liming. He's just like, you know, hanging out, you have to plan it. And you, it's like, well, we
No,
don't
it's
plan a line.
impromptu.
You
Impromptu.
you bounce up somebody and we start a line, you know.
Yes.
And all these things contributed to my love for Trinidad and Tobago. And I too don't understand how other people being from here don't get the vibrancy of our people, of our culture, you know. So that's what made me want to start Patriotic TNT.
And how long has Patriotic TNT been around, by the way?
In full operation since 2017. I registered the name in 2014. The
Mm,
idea came to me in 2014. I wasn't sure what I wanted it to be. I know that I wanted to raise the patriotism level of our
right.
local, but I didn't know in what capacity just yet. And as things happened, I started doing more things, and people were like, "Oh, I want you to take me here, take me there. How you get there?" I was just like, "Well, okay, I'll take you," and you know that just led me to now doing tours.
And you do, like you said, you do tours not only for locals but international folks as well. So
Yes,
you know,
yes,
and just to clear up that thing about liming, yes, it's an impromptu thing we do for those of you internationally, and we're not talking about the fruit. We're talking about an activity. You know, because they
exactly.
still question this lime. Yeah, and it's
I call
liming
it the
without
art
the
of
G.
doing nothing.
The art. Oh, good point. The art of
Yeah,
doing nothing.
yeah.
So I'm looking at your paperwork here, and I'm seeing, you know, there are things that you offer from Mukojumbi walking. I'm seeing shots of the Sister Isle of Tobago. I'm seeing wire bending in terms of even our national instrument, even photos you have from attending Pagua. So you seem to be involved in absolutely everything. And I think I'm seeing my girl Kerry in one of your shots too. You have been involved in different aspects of Trinidad and Tobago. Is it because also, do you think we have such a rich cultural base? You know, they say we are a melting pot of
Mhm.
different races, different religions, different cultures, foods. This is one blessed nation. Do you think we sometimes forget that, or don't pay attention to that?
We absolutely forget it. We absolutely don't know how, because that's all we know. We don't know what it's like not to have it, so we take it for granted. You know, I remember somebody from Switzerland asking a friend, "How can her name be Mary Muhammad?" Because Mary is a Christian first name and Muhammad is a Muslim last name,
Wow.
and she just that will never happen in their country. And it like those kind of conversations make me realize how much we are so integrated into one another's culture and we really really take it for granted.
I was
you
looking at
know.
a video footage this morning because, in Trinidad and Tobago, no, in the world right now, things are very heavy. Whether we're talking about the pandemic, talking about race relations, you're seeing different things. But I remember looking at a video this morning, and a young man said, one of the problems that we have is that we are not educated. And he's not talking about academics here. He was making reference to the richness of our culture,
Right.
the meaning
Yeah.
behind our history. And I thought about that and I said, one thing's for sure, though, we have many institutions, locations, museums all over the country. But to be honest with you, I don't think people even attend those or go to those
No.
as often as we should to
And
gain.
other people don't know about them. We know about most people know about the National Museum in Port of Spain, and
Mm.
that's about it.
Nakita, question. Can you help me with this part? As we go around looking, whether it's down Icarcus, in Port of Spain. Now, this is taking this to another conversation that should be had. But do you think
Right.
we are also not taking care of our monuments?
Yes.
Because we're evolving and it's always great to have these tall story buildings and knock down the old ones that have so much history too. Do you see
Yeah.
that happening a lot? Is that something we need to look at as well?
There are
As part of
many things that
patriotism?
there are many things that we need to look at as saying that we are patriotic. And many times we say, oh, we really love our country, red, white, and black. And we say
Trinity
these things like
born.
Trinity to the bone, especially online. We say these things, but what does it transcend into? How does it transcend into our daily lives? And monuments are usually taken care of by the state, but there are things that we can do even in our daily lives. Like, why did I go back outside after COVID and see KFC boxes on the ground like 5 days after we reopen? These are the things that do not say that we are patriotic.
Right. Our
And these
actions
are the
don't
things
depict
that,
that.
exactly, and these are the things that we really need to look at as individuals. What are our daily actions that do not say that we are patriotic?
So you know what this proves? We have to have you back on JChat in front of the screen to talk about that, because there are things I'm
Okay.
sure you'd like to highlight that we should be doing
Oh,
differently
definitely.
to
Yes.
show our true patriotism. So let's
Yeah.
look at this now. This is the fun element of the JChats today, because I remember some time ago I was telling you, Nakita, when I was doing my BA in Media and Communications at SBCS. Hey to the entire crew, miss you guys. But anyway, one of the projects we had to do, my final project was working on 5 hidden treasures in Trinidad and Tobago. And in doing that
Right.
with my group members, we realized that Trinidad and Tobago has so many hidden treasures. And that was just focusing on beaches.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So that was just that. But I realized staycations are so rich as well. There are
Yeah.
so many places which I have not been to, and I know you're going to highlight that today too.
Right.
Yes, I will take that. But there are places that we need to check out, and that is why we're having this conversation. Let's see if we can. I wanted to really sit down with you and talk about some places, 10 places if you can, in Trinidad and Tobago, that persons who are looking on now can certainly take this opportunity to explore it, go check it out with your family members and friends. And I know you said there are many more than 10, but 10 is all we can certainly fit into our time today.
Okay.
So this is where I'm going to pass it over to you. And please be nice. Don't let the world know of some of my transitions. All right?
I'll
Yeah.
try.
Okay.
I'll try
Thank
my
you.
utmost best.
Thank you. It's going to be bad, guys. I haven't been a
um,
lot of places. All right, go ahead. So
but
what's the first one?
the first one, I would preface my list by saying, as it's staycations, I would like to focus on communities instead of just visiting one place. And the reason also, it's because when you visit a community and you support the community of itself, you get food there, you
Right.
do transportation there, you get in contact with the artisans of that particular community. And in the travel industry, we call that community tourism, but you are
Right.
supporting the entire community,
Community. Right.
So
Right.
that's going to be the focus, and I'm just going to highlight in those particular communities certain things that you can do.
And that way you can keep the money flowing as well.
Exactly. Yes.
Another
And
sector.
so with COVID, I am so glad that we don't have to push
Right.
staycations because it is so important. We see the benefits, the money coming, the money circulating within the our economy, the support for our local people. And so with minimum cases only imported right now, we are allowed to go outside with restrictions, but
Of
we are
course.
allowed to still experience Trinidad and Tobago in some capacity. So with that in mind, um, these are my top communities at this point of time.
All right. Okay.
So JD, you will do our little countdown and tell
Okay.
me
All right. Okay. So we'll go with number. Are we starting from 10 and 1 being the best, or are we doing it in any order? How are we doing
any
this?
order, no
Any
random order.
order.
Actually, I'm starting in the west, coming across to the east, and then I'll go to central, south,
All right. Great.
and Tobago.
All right. So
So
let's
my
start.
first community is Paramin.
Paramin.
Paramin
Yes.
is located north of our capital.
Right.
So it's right above Maraval. And it's the home of many things that we love. Great seasoning. They actually have hills of seasoning that they grow in
I'm glad to
Paramin.
see that.
They have a back cave that you go in, and the bats are there. It's, you're outside and then you go into this cave and it's
I don't need to
almost
see
pitch
that
black.
part.
No, but it's really nice to see. And it's the home of some of the best food. They cook so well. The people are so friendly in Paramin. It's
Right.
the home of the Blue Devils. It's the home of Parang as well. So it's the home of Parang, which is our Christmas festival. But Paramin has so much to offer outside of Christmas. So yeah, you take a little jeep.
I was about to say, all I know about Paramin is Christmas. You go there.
Nah, man, nah.
Only thing about Paramin, Christmas. I mean, I've
I
heard about the
know.
seasonings, but
Yeah.
it's very much favorite for the Christmas limes that happen up there,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yeah. But the community is just so rich and they
Right.
welcome you. They open their doors and you can get food, and it's really, really it's one of those nostalgic communities.
What is it
Yeah.
processed though, quickly, if you can, to get to Paramin? What do I need to do? Can I just jump in my car
Um,
and drive up?
you can, but a lot of people don't like to because the roads are very small and winding.
Right.
So I would suggest, which I find is the best way, you park your car at the bottom of Maraval down by KFC somewhere there, and you jump in one of those jeeps. They are Paramin jeeps
Right.
driven by Paraminians. That's what we call them.
Mm-mm.
And you get in the back of the jeep and they take you up. It is just like, I feel like there is no other way to experience Paramin than up in those jeeps,
All
up
right.
and back down those jeeps.
So that's one for my list to do. Never been to Paramin.
Okay.
Continue. What's the second
So
one?
my second location is Lopino. So we're coming more east. Lopino, another Parang place because of the settlement of Spanish.
Right.
But Lopino has their own culinary experience happening. They have a museum as well, and
Right.
they have their, you can learn how to dance the cocoa. They show you the process of turning cocoa into chocolate in Lopino. They do all these. They actually have a little cafe called Cafe Mariposa, and everything in that restaurant is grown in Lopino. And
Right.
the hummingbirds come whilst you're eating outside. It is just so majestic. Something like out of a movie.
Now, I'm proud to say that I have been to Lupino. Please keep in mind it was maybe when I was no older than 11, but I did go. Because I do, you're laughing at me, but I
Sorry,
do.
not at you. Not at you at all.
I do have a vivid memory of it, but it's certainly a place I need to revisit. It is. And what's the
Right,
process
yeah.
again for getting there?
Lopino is located, if everybody knows the airport. So that street that runs north of the airport, it's
Right.
Aruka Road. It will take you, once you cross over the highway, it takes you straight, or Golden Grove Road takes you straight to Aruka Junction. So you'll see KFC on your right, and when you turn right, Lupino Junction is 2 streets on your right. Now you could also park your car there because they're vans, what we call bread vans,
Right.
driven by the people of Lupino, and they take you up, bring you back, because also Lupino roads are a bit.
So you have the more skilled persons of that area, be
Yes,
it Paramin
exactly.
or Lopino, to take you up.
Yes,
So you don't have
yes,
any issues. And I'm
yeah,
sure it's going to be a small cost. Again, we're contributing towards the community.
exactly.
So,
Obviously,
yeah.
yes.
Both places don't. I mean, it's communities you're speaking of, but they may still have a time frame in which persons can come up.
Yes, depending on what you want to do. I would always suggest, for example, in Paramin, if you want the entire experience, you go with a tour guide. They have tour guides within Paramin
Right.
themselves, and you can also contact Patriotic TandT and we can arrange it for you. Same thing with Lopino. It depends on what you want to do. If it wants to be a day full of activities, Lopino actually has a hotel, and
Oh,
not a lot of people knows that, and
oh,
you
I
can
didn't know that.
stay you can stay for a couple of days up in Lupino. But
Nakita, we need to
most of
go
the
to
things,
Lopino.
yeah, it would be a really, really nice
And everyone's
staycation.
jumping into road trips. So this is
Yes.
one of those crazy things that you can certainly do. That you get to know your country tour, your own know your
Mm-hmm.
country tour.
Yes.
That sounds like a plan. So we're doing Paramin and we're doing Lupino, God willing. All
Yes.
right. Next.
Next is I'm going even further east, which is Grand Riviere, and it's basically on the North Coast Road.
Right.
It's about 60 kilometers from Sandy Grande. And Grand Riviere is one of these nice little nested communities. But it is well known for their turtle
Watching.
conservation, turtle watching, their turtle nesting sites. It's the largest turtle nesting site actually on this in this part of the world, right? So it's a little past San Sushi, and you go there and they have bird watching as well. They also have bread and breakfasts in Grand Riviere. And it's a very eco-friendly type of stay, wooden structures, and you can see right now it's perfect because you can see the turtles are still coming, but more importantly or more exciting for me, I like to encourage people to go and see the turtle nesting
Right.
when they break the shells, the baby turtles, and they try to get back to the ocean.
So that is
And
even an activity, seeing the babies, the
yes, yes, the
hatchlings.
hatchlings, yes, yeah. And some communities, like I know Matura does it, they would gather the hatchlings during the day and allow people to let the
Oh,
hatchlings go at night, so that they can, because it's harder for like birds to see the hatchlings, etc.
at
So they
night.
gather at night. So they gather them during the day, and then you can go and help you feel so proud. And I
Wow.
mean, it's part of our patriotic movement to know that these turtles come to our shores every single year, and we are helping in the conservation of at least getting them to the ocean, you
I'm
know?
sure there are many people who have never been turtle watching or even looking at the hatchlings return to
Right.
the ocean. So, what are some of the ways we can certainly jump into that opportunity? Do we need to register somewhere? Is it a
Yes. I will suggest going to nature seekers. You have to have a permit to be on the beaches, because these beaches during this period are So I would suggest nature seekers, because at this time our beaches, especially on that side of Trinidad, are protected for turtle conservation, right? So you
Mhm.
need a permit to go there. The permits are like $20, if I'm not mistaken. You need a permit to be on the beach at that time, and
Oh,
these communities also have tour guides, they have people who are trained on how to handle these turtles, how to handle the hatching, how to handle the eggs as well.
But let's say if I wanted to communicate with you, you would be able to also maybe guide me through the process as well.
Yes, definitely.
So we can communicate with persons at
Yeah,
Patriotic TT,
definitely.
right?
Everything on the list you can call Patriotic TNT for.
Nice. So we've visited 3 areas virtually in our mind so
Yeah.
far, and you've given us pretty good descriptions and just given us the vision of that place. I've done the turtle watching, by the way, so
How
I'm
long
doing.
ago?
Yeah. I think it could be 5 years ago.
All right, not too bad, not too bad.
That's
And
not
the
too
time,
bad.
yeah, that's good, that's good. All right, I'll give you that one.
But I don't think I want to do it again.
That's okay.
I say this
What
because
about the nestling? What about
that's
watching
what I'd
hatch?
like to. That's what I'd want to do. I
Yeah,
certainly don't want to do the turtle watching again because it was such a trek. You know,
yeah.
we trekked down. I did not believe that beach was so long. So we trekked for a long
With that,
time. I think we did Granivere or Matura, one of those.
probably
There's a green shed where all the bus
Matura.
Matura. So there, and we walked like forever, Nakita, forever, because you had an assigned tour guide,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
and your assigned tour guide, if Nakita's with Group A, you are
right.
not going to go to that location to watch.
Yeah,
Group B, so we had to find our
right.
own turtle really, and
Yeah.
it demanded walking the longest beach I've ever walked in my life.
Well, maybe.
And the sand is so thick, so your feet you're sinking
Mhm,
in.
mhm.
But I'm
It
telling you
wasn't
though,
worth it, though. You don't
it
find it
was
was
worth it.
worth it,
It was worth
right?
it, and I can say I did it. If you haven't done it, I say you should. I say you should because
Yeah,
you may not have to walk as far as we did. You might be luckier than
definitely
us.
not. Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, but I want to do the
yeah.
hatchling thing. So that's something we're gonna look
Yeah,
at.
the hatchlings are
That
amazing.
sounds amazing.
Tobago is a great place to do the hatchlings as well.
Really?
SOS Tobago, they save the turtles, and they
Oh,
yeah, that's a really nice place to do the hatchling release.
oh man, we're gonna have so many road trips, Nikita. So where next? We're looking at some of the favorite places or some of the best places in Trinidad and Tobago, whether it's just a community or even just staycation you have in mind. Whatever it is, it's just about boosting our tourism. Because right now,
Yeah.
this is where we're at. And I heard Paho said we may be living this way maybe for the next couple of years if a vaccine is not found. So can you think about that? Think
It's
about that.
years, you say. It's
I
years,
know,
years.
I know. And not only did they say if it's not found, if the vaccine is not found, let's say the vaccine is found, then you have to make sufficient for the world. So that's a process in itself,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know? So yeah,
I
we
mean,
have
but for
this one,
a little 2x2 island, we have a lot going on. So we should not be bored.
hashtag I live where you vacation.
That is it. Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
blessed.
We
We're so
really are.
blessed.
Like we
Yes,
really, really, really are.
we're
We really
blessed.
are.
We're
So
blessed.
the next place I'm coming out from the east and coming down, and I'm going to stop in central Karipichaima.
Right?
Karipichaima has the Hanuman statue, which
Right?
is 80 feet tall. It's the
Wow.
tallest Hindu statue on this side of the world, on the Western Hemisphere.
Right.
And in the same compound with the Hanuman statue, there's a temple. Obviously, it's a religious place. You have to go dressed modestly. You take off your shoes and you enter. You see the most beautiful architecture. The drawings on the walls and on the ceilings are just gorgeous, and then about a 10-minute drive, if so much, you can visit the temple in the sea. And there's
Right.
a whole story about how this temple in the sea was built and who it was built by. And Felicity, I'm sorry, not Felicity, Karipichaima has that very rich East Indian influence. And this
Right.
is a great, great, great place or great community to stop and really take in, some statues of great importance to our nation.
So that's in Kaipochima Central, right?
Karipichaima, yes, that's in Central. They also have the Indian Caribbean Museum in Karipichaima. And
And what's it? Go ahead. Go ahead.
I know
Sorry.
a lot of people don't know that these museums exist, but they really do.
So what's the process? A family member wants a family wants to go there. What's the process?
You can again, you can call Patriotic TNT, or you can just it's a turn off from the highway right after Chase Village. You can ask anybody in the community how to get to these places, and the Indian Museum is open from 8 to 4.
Right. Okay.
The statue and the temple in the sea is from 6 to 6:15, and you can just visit
6 a.m. to six
6
fifteen p.m.
a.m. to 6:15 p.m. Yeah.
Wow, that's a long day too.
Yes.
Hmm.
But I mean,
Yeah.
you can go anytime you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
And it can
Um.
be part of a longer day trip. You can stop in Carrickford on your way to our next spot, which is
Which is?
Moruga.
Oh yes, yes, Laloon. Well, at least I know Laloon, so that's all stuck in my head. But tell us about Moruga. That's going through
Um,
Princestown for us, right here,
it's
down south.
Moruga. If you look at the bottom of if you look at the map of Trinidad and Tobago, Moruga is the last the dot at the bottom of Trinidad and Tobago. But Moruga has their own culture, their own history. It is actually where Christopher Columbus is said to have landed when he came, not to discover
I
Trinidad,
was about to
but
say
to
when he
oh no
didn't
no no no
discover
no
us.
no
Okay,
when he
okay.
didn't discover, when he just made a pit stop and ended up here, that is where he
Oh.
came off. That is where he came off, right? But there is a Columbus statue down there as well. Moruga has their own cocoa home houses. They
Mhm.
have their own museum. They celebrate First People holidays. They have a Moruga Day. They have a Prince of Moruga as well, who is so very welcoming. He will let you know everything that there is to do in
Right.
Moruga. There are chocolatiers in Moruga as well, and it's close to the beach. Moruga is great. Yeah.
Moruga.
It's also the home of the scorpion pepper, which is
Yes,
rated
internationally known,
as
the
internationally
hottest pepper.
the hottest pepper.
Have you had any? I've never had it though.
Yes, of course. Yeah, you must try it. I mean, I bought
I'm
like 10,000, but
because I
yeah,
am not.
and it was
I was now gonna say I like pepper, but I am not too sure about that scorpion pepper.
yeah, it's really deadly. I had just like the tiniest of pieces, and I was just like, yeah, I good for the rest of the day.
Do you remember that video? Just digressing for a minute. You remember that digressing for a minute? Do you remember that video where this man internationally ate an entire one and was going crazy?
Yes,
I wonder how he
sweating.
survived.
Yes,
No
I don't know.
way. So from Moruga, we jump into the car and we go to.
So my next spot is a collection of places. So if you would have noticed, in all of the communities that I spoke about,
Right,
I said that there was a museum. And I feel like our museums require its own category, its own bullet points in our
right,
list.
right.
We can go museum hopping in Trinidad. That is how many museums we have. Most communities have museums within their community,
Right.
and I really, really value those because it's the community that put them together. They know the story, and then it's the granddaughter telling you this is her grandfather on the wall, and they say it with such pride.
Of
But we have
course.
our national museum, we have the Indian Caribbean Museum, we have Lopino Museum, we have Tobago has their own museum, Tobago Folklore Museum. There's the Central Bank Museum. There's a museum in Angostura Complex in Fernandez as well, which
Right.
is about butterflies. And even back in Tobago, there is a museum which I absolutely love called Kimmy's Museum.
Kings.
It's a museum that has these sculptures of somebody who died a couple of years ago. She came to Trinidad and she does these beautiful sculptures, like life size sculptures. And this museum, you can just walk through it. It was where she lived, but they still upkeep it, and you can walk through and see all the different museums. You can read some of the books of her stories.
Is
Yeah.
she a Trini or someone who was visiting our
No, she was
Trinbagonian? Sorry.
somebody. No. Well, if you ask her, yes, but no, she was not born in Trinidad and Tobago. No.
But I guess you fell in love, as you
Yes.
say
And
on your platform, fall in love with TNT,
yeah,
and she did
yeah,
just that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
museums do need to get that highlight, as you say. That can be part of our road
Yes.
trips.
Yes.
It's. I think maybe I've been to one, and that was the National Museum higher up
Right.
in Port of Spain. But as you mentioned, there are many others there that I was not even aware of. And so this
Hmm.
is something again you can take the young ones to. This is almost like an educational tour, but it's a fun one,
Yeah.
historical
Yeah.
one as
And
well.
that's how all you should learn everything. You should learn something every time you go to on one of these trips,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This week, by the way, on Thursday, it was the Mighty Sparrow's birthday. He was
Right.
85, I think it is. But it was
Yeah.
his birthday this week. So he's another one. I think I remember why I raised that. I remember seeing some of his photos in the National Museum as
Yes.
well. So
Yeah.
it just really clicked right there for me. So
Yeah.
another spot, location, where we're
So
going to.
now we're going to jump over to Tobago, which, we love. We absolutely love Tobago. But it's not just about the beaches.
Oh, it's not
So
just about Strawberry and Pigeon Point?
no, it is
Uh-huh.
not. It is
Oh.
not.
I
My
mean,
favorite
crab and dumpling is
community.
about that.
No, it is not about that either. I mean, it's really crab and
What
dumpling
are
is
you
yeah,
talking
boy.
about?
I could do that. I could do that right now, but it's not about that alone.
It's not curry crab.
Um,
Hmm.
yeah. Um, my favorite community in Tobago is Castara.
Right.
And the reason it's my favorite is because Castara has all the things that we go to Tobago for. The curry crab and dumpling, the food, they have the beaches, and it's one of those untouched spots in Tobago.
Tobago.
They have on Thursday nights they had bonfire nights. So they will gather around the bonfire and sing and
Is that every
you know
Thursday night?
every Thursday night.
Oh,
Yeah. And
Tobago.
Sunday night they had drum. They. I'm not sure how the restrictions will curb
Obviously.
this, but
Hmm. Hmm.
it's something to look into. They had drumology nights where they would just play drums, and that is very much a Tobago thing. The drums of Tobago and the heritage of Tobago. They tell stories of Tobago in Castara. Castara is one of those communities that you if you are staying there, which I like to stay in Castara because then I can get to the other communities. So I usually take a day and go beach hopping from Castara if I'm staying in Castara. So then I go to Englishman's Bay and
Right.
Palatuvia and and after Palatuvia, Charlottesville. And you can
Charlottesville.
just do beach hopping on that side of the island. I mean, you can get around Tobago in one day, but to really,
Yes.
truly, truly, truly experience the people in these communities, experience the activities in these communities, yeah,
One, and you're right,
Castara.
we can do this in one day, but it's good to just, and it's just good to do something other than the store bay, or that part that's very populated, especially with us visiting there.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
can
yeah,
go
yeah.
into the countryside, and as you mentioned, Charlottesville, of course, down there has so many hidden beaches, and I'll leave that for you to touch
Exactly.
on. But there are
Yeah,
some hidden beaches down there that are mouth dropping, or jaw
yes,
dropping, as they say. And
yeah,
this is our twin island that we
yeah,
really are sleeping on.
yeah. And so I will say the next spot is Pirates Bay. And
The best.
I'm just saying that well-known one, but there are a couple others that people
Hidden.
don't know of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pirates Bay. You drive up, and then you have to. It's a good trek, and you have to
Yes.
walk down 152 steps, but
Yes.
it is
Yes.
worth it. It is picturesque. It is like out of a postcard.
It is.
Pirates Bay. You can get by walking, or you can actually get to Pirates Bay by a boat from
I
Charlottesville.
know what to say. Are you getting it from Charlottesville? So, because I was going to ask you that question, you can get the boat from Charlottesville to head
Charlottesville, yeah, yeah.
to, yeah. So, but
Pirates,
the
right?
fun element of it, guys, that are looking on in J Chats here today, you should really try the trek.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
trek. I mean, going back
Yeah,
is not fun. I only say that because there's 152 steps you need to climb when you're done. But going to it, going to it via the trek up the hills, and then you chuck down these steps, amazing. I've never done the boat, so I'm sure that's also very amazing as well. But I just found it when we got to the top and saw the stairs, and you're like, wow. And then when you get to the bottom of the stairs and you see the picturesque shot in front of you of the ocean, it's ours. It's our Twin Island. It's
it is
ours.
amazing. You really wonder, this is my Trinidad and Tobago. It's amazing.
We sleep on. Maybe, there's always some good coming out of a bad situation, and COVID being one of the worst right now for this year. 2020 feels like a heavy burden for everybody. Maybe this is one of the opportunities that the good is coming out of, that we're rediscovering parts of our Twin Island. We're moving the economy within our Twin Island.
Yeah. And that was the purpose of Patriotic TandT. And now we have the opportunity to really, really get involved and be like, okay, what is there in Trinidad and Tobago? What does Trinidad and Tobago have to offer? And you will, if you ask those questions, you will get the answers.
Yeah, lots of answers. And I wonder now, with the young ones of today that are so wrapped up in technology and their tablets and that sort of thing, they may not be aware of many of these locations. And honestly, parents, guardians, those that love your children as well and love our Twin Island, this is the best time to do that. Of course, maintaining the social distancing and all the things that are required to live through this pandemic. I think we know that. Another location for me.
Well, that's my top 10. So that's my 10. How many did you get out of the 10? How many? Let me not ask how many did you get, but how many places do you have to visit out of those 10?
I think I've done the Pirates Bay. I've done the Palatuve. I've done the Englishman's. I think I passed through Castara. I didn't really stay as you would for staying purposes. Where is it again? I've never been to Kaibochima, the statue and even the temple in the ocean. No, I have not done Paramin, so I've got to do that. But I've done Lupino, but you can consider that not doing it because it's so long ago. So maybe I need to do it over again. And of course, I've done, not Grand Riviera, but Matura, which is almost like the same thing in terms of looking at the turtles.
Yes, for the activity of the turtle watching.
But it's different communities, obviously.
Different communities, yes.
Yeah, so maybe I need to do the Grand Riviera as well. Listen to me, a list, I have to do everything on the list, truth be told. But I'm surprised, though, Nakita, you did not mention one of the very closest places to me.
Yes, I was leaving that for last. I was leaving that for last. Just, to
rub it in.
No, not to rub it in, but La Brea is the home of the largest pitch lake in the world. People from England, the US, other countries, they get pitch or asphalt for their roads from Trinidad and Tobago, and it's located right in La Brea, 1 hour from San Fernando, and JD has never been.
And I live in San Fernando, by the way.
Never
been. Passed it many times. Never been. So maybe that should be the first one on my list. Tell us about the pitch lake, because I hear so many things stories about the pitch lake, about the youth especially.
So it's a natural deposit of asphalt. It rejuvenates itself all the time. So no matter how much pitch we take out of it, it still keeps going. But the thing about the pitch lake is that as soon as you get there, you really think it's like, what is this? Is it a car park? Like, what is this? But so people really go like, oh God, I don't want to go to no pitch lake. And I understand.
But have you a car park?
Pitch lake? Have you ever bathed in the pitch lake? Did you know that you can bathe in the pitch lake and the minerals from the asphalt are said to be really, really good for your skin?
No, I haven't done that. I will do it though. God willing,
Exactly.
haven't said strength.
Exactly. There's
What?
also a museum by the pitch lake.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. All these locations that you speak of has that home or
Yes.
that structure that
Yes.
encompasses the history behind it. So there's a museum. What do I do though? How do not me because I just need to jump in the car and drive. But what would
Yeah.
persons coming from north, maybe across in the east, maybe central, not San Fernando only? Tell us about the process about getting into a day of activities at the Pitch Lake.
It's real simple. You drive into the pitch lake. There are usually tour guides sitting around. I mean, you can call official tour guides. You can call Patriotic TandT as well. And we can give you a full tour of the pitch lake. But there are people from library who just sit around waiting for visitors to come, and it's our duty to support these people.
Of course, another community.
And yeah, and the community, and they know about the stories. It's really interesting to see the roads in library, how the pitch the creation of the pitch makes the roads move,
And that's
there's
one
so
of the things to do. The roads in La Brea have never been one way. It's always
yeah,
because of the pitch.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So is that opening time? Does it work like that? For
The
visiting
museum
hours?
the museum has an opening time, and I think it's from 8 to 4.
Right.
And but the tour guides are usually around that time from 8 to 6ish. Even on weekends, they are there as well.
Okay. Okay. Because
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was like a 10 o'clock and you get there at 10, let's say at 8 and it's not open as yet. So 8 a.m.
Right. Yeah.
is a pretty
8
good
a.m.
time.
seems to be the general start time.
So Nakita Henry, the CEO of Patriotic TT Limited, this is just one of those companies, in fact, the company we're speaking to right now, to do the tours and take us around and give us knowledge on different amazing locations in Trinidad and Tobago, communities as well. And I love how you pounced on that because many of us would have forgotten that. We just think about
Mhm.
locations, but not thinking about the community in which it exists
Yeah.
and it thrives. Now, Nakita, you have mentioned areas in which we can visit and check out. But what about another rich element of our culture, the festivals?
Yeah. Well, that's what Patriotic TNT started. That because we are very culturally driven, and
Right,
that's where we really started. We started taking people to festivals, and
right.
then all the other things came after. Festivals, I absolutely love. That's where you will find me all the time because we have
Yes, so I heard.
so many in Trinidad and Tobago. We actually did a calendar, a 2020 calendar of holidays and festivals in Trinidad and Tobago that we are not using because of COVID. But
COVID.
there are, thankfully, for the rest of the year, there may be some kind of activity happening for those in Trinidad and Tobago. So I'm just
Some
going to
sort of
start.
modification.
Yes. So, for example, Tobago Heritage is going to start from July the 15th or the 12th or the 15th. And they're going to go take part elements of their festival online this year,
Right.
right? So we have
Virtual.
that to look forward to. That's like probably in a week or two. And it goes till the end of July. And I absolutely love Tobago Heritage. It's one of the best one of my favorite festivals. So we have Tobago Heritage. Then we have Emancipation. So depending on how COVID goes and
Yeah.
how our restrictions go, we can go to Port of Spain and dance in the streets. Like that may be our reopening for our country festival. We don't
You
know.
are having some wishful thinking, aren't you?
I am.
You know we're going to be like this for a long time. What are you talking about?
But either way, there are modifications,
Yes.
and there are lots of things, a lot of celebrations going to happen online, and I think that it's important for us to be part of those celebrations, even though we cannot be there physically. And also, it also means that the international viewers can be part of these celebrations as well. So we have Tobago Heritage, we have Emancipation, then Independence Day is coming. We have Pose in September. Then we have Diwali in November, and then we have
Wow.
Christmas
We
which
have so many festivities. That's why
yeah,
we should be more of a happy country and have less in terms of the murder toll and all that violence. But this is indeed a beautiful place. The scenery is amazing. And then we've got
culture, yeah,
culture, festivities, food. We have music. Let's not forget
yeah,
musicians who are
yeah,
continuously doing this in and
yes,
out of the carnival season. So it's not only the soca artists we're talking about, the
exactly,
entertainers who
yes,
continuously do this. So
yes,
I think we need to recognize our blessing, guys, because COVID
yeah,
19 is teaching us many, many things. And I hope we're taking the lessons, because sometimes you can
yeah,
attend a class, but you don't retain the lesson taught. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
That's a good point. Yeah,
So I hope we are certainly holding on to that. Now, I want to find out. So those are the festivities coming up. Again, we
yes,
can find out more details about that on your website in
yes.
terms of locations, what we need to do. I know one
Mm-hmm.
of the things that you absolutely love. I think has it gone already, Pagua? You love that,
Pagua, yes, Pagua has gone. It's
but I know
March,
you
April.
you would have been jumping up in that as well. I
No,
know.
we didn't have. Well, it didn't
Well, I'm
happen
saying you
because
would
of
have.
COVID.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
If
I
it
would
was,
have. Yeah,
yeah, you would have been
definitely,
certainly in
definitely. I was ready.
right? So not only do you do tours, you take us to festivities, you take care of those international folks who are coming in.
Yeah.
And by the way, I was speaking to a friend of mine in who I thought was back in the UK, and she said to me, "Girl, I'm still here. There are so many
Really?
international uh, Trinis, of
Right.
course, based internationally, that are still here thanks to this
Well,
COVID-19 lockdown sort of
right.
life we're
That's
living."
great.
And she did say she's enjoying it. So even persons like that who did not cater for it earlier in the year for carnival, now
Yes.
you can take advantage of that maybe and take, of course, maintaining the all the guidelines and go out and see some of
Yeah.
these places.
Mm-hmm. Lots of
Take
places
that
to
time
see.
to
It,
do
it
that
it took me a good while to get this list to 10.
together. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I kind of give you a challenge there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So before we talk about your platforms and all that, I want to know the t-shirt you're rocking. It says home, and I love the creative element of using the Trinidad and Tobago map to represent
Yeah.
home. So it's home.
Yeah.
Can you just lean forward so we can see it a little bit more?
Sure.
Home. Yeah.
Yeah.
So where can we get that? What are the colors? What do we need to do in order to get our own home t-shirt?
Right. Well, I have three designs. The home, I have my logo, which is also something that everybody loves.
Right.
And I have a carnival words crossword type design as well. And all the merchandise can be found. You can just DM direct message us on any of our platforms as well
Yeah.
as our website. We are currently doing a shop where you would just need to click and be able to pay and have your t-shirt delivered to you. And we
Nice.
have
Nice.
something for the international people too. Even with COVID, you will be able to get your t-shirts as well through our website and
And,
through one of our international partners.
and you're catering for all sizes, right? Small, large,
Yes,
extra large.
all sizes. We have male,
Colors?
female vests. All merchandise is red, white, or black.
It
That's
must
our
represent
colors. Yeah, there is
red,
nothing else. Yeah,
red, white, and black. I love it. I love it.
yeah. We even have onesies for the kids,
Oh,
for the
that's
babies.
nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
great. So we can certainly check out your website to see some more of this. Yeah.
Yes, coming soon. It's
Yes.
under renovation.
So, any final words you want to share with us? I would like to just poke something into you in terms of these locations, and I'm sure you're going to be passionate about it before we wrap it up. But one thing we need to remember is about leaving these beaches and these locations very clean
Yeah,
once we're done,
yeah.
with our visits. Can you speak to that and then wrap up our conversation for us?
Sure. I think our slogan says it all: fall in love with Trinidad and Tobago. And when you love somebody, like
Yeah,
truly love somebody or something, you take care of it.
you do.
The earth has allowed us to be here. All these places we talked about, some of the things are man-made, but a lot of it came from the earth being formed, and we need to pay homage
Respect.
back to the our home. Our home is Trinidad and Tobago. We really have to take care of it. Nobody else will take care of it for us.
You need
So
to
I
respect
think,
it. Mm-hmm.
yeah, we have to do our part. If you say that red, white, and black runs through your veins, Trinity to the bone, Trinity to the marrow, we have to show that in our daily, daily, daily lives. Like every little thing that we do, the choices that we make, support local instead of buying foreign items. Simple things like that.
This is all coming out during this time, showing us that
Yeah,
we need to support local. And you know,
yeah,
you said it's sad, but it seems as though the only time that we are literally one is that time of year with the greatest show on
Carnival.
earth.
Yeah,
And I hope we certainly don't stand to that only. We spread it throughout the year,
yeah.
but
It
it's
has,
just a
yeah,
it's just a process, you know? You know?
yeah. Because we have a lot more to celebrate than just Carnival.
Yeah.
Every month has celebrations for Trinidad and Tobago, and we really, really need to just keep it going. Be really who we say that we are, the multicultural, happiest country in the world.
We are. And we have the
Yeah,
best accent too. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So thank you so much, Nikita. Did you share your contact numbers? I know you shared the website, but
The website is www.patriotictt.com, and we are on social media on Instagram and Facebook at Patriotic TT on both platforms.
nice.
And you can get us at 784-5269. That's my direct line.
All right, great. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for helping us fall deeper in love with this twin island we call home, where others vacation, but we live here. And we can say
Yep.
that proudly. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best. And
You're most welcome.
where are we going
And
to
I look
first?
forward to see. We're going to Labrador. We're going to the Pitch Lake first because,
First.
yeah, first.
Woo!
It's closest.
Here's
I'll
the
just start
closest.
you off. I'll
Yeah.
start you off easy.
Yeah, just come down the road. I will jump in my car and we'll
Yeah,
just drive.
no
Yes.
problem. No
All
problem. We
right. So I
stop
need
in
to.
there babe, for
Oh, yeah,
some
some
good
doubles.
food, doubles, some calories, some sweet stuff. Yeah,
Sounds
yeah.
like a plan. Sounds like a plan. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best, honey. And we will share the details to the bottom if you want to check her out in terms of her website details in case you missed it prior. But Patriotic TT continues to take care of Trinidad and Tobago, making us even more patriotic. And as I said, falling deeper in love with our twin island. Thank you, Nakita. I wish you all the best.
You're most welcome. Thanks for having me.
All right, guys, this is J Chats. We've got to go. Join me inside the next episode. You just never know. Well, this is where I say thank you so much for allowing me in your world. I know you got your things to do, but you still tuned in, and I appreciate that. So don't forget, click subscribe, click the like, share, and just let all of us gather from the information that is being shared inside of JChat, even if it's the fun ones as well. Serious fun, whatever it is. Thank you so much. Be blessed. Stay safe. I'm JD.